I work for Public Services Procurement Canada.
I work for General Dynamics Mission Systems Canada.
I work with National Defence in infrastructure and environment.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we all start in the field of project management, we were given sort of an initial toolkit. You know, whether it's PMBOK or Prince2, we all start in and start learning the basics. And we start putting those into practice. And I like to use the analogy of building a house. So we start building, in this case, decomposing through a WBS and building a house. I think this program sort of offers you a toolkit 2.0. So, you know, moving into dealing with negotiation, collaborative contracting. So instead of just building the house, now I'm dealing with labor shortages. I'm negotiating, you know, agreements, and it gets a whole other level of complexity. So I think I like to think of the program as sort of that next level, and look forward to putting those tools into practice, of course.
What I have is an overall positive feeling. Like, I feel like I've grown in my professional life. It's increased my credibility because I have more of the background. The networking is helped because now suddenly we know more people and we can talk and at the director level or the DG level. So I find it's just an overall growth in the professional development.
The reason why I would recommend it is from my own personal perspective. I had looked at a number of different master's programs, including an MBA, which are all excellent. However, it's like this program is custom designed for the work that I do. It covers everything from the human element to the theory to the practice to the very tangible. And in order to be able to have a program that captures all of those elements in one program, positions people to be able to lead large-scale initiatives. And that's exactly what I was looking for, simply because that's exactly the role that I'm in.
I think by far the most rewarding thing was actually doing the workplace programs. I mean, both of mine have been in General Dynamics Mission Systems Canada, and I think again, it offers you the ability to put things into practice and kind of see what you've learned, and it was really rewarding to be able to work with sort of senior management at Mission Systems Canada to do that. And so it's sort of a two-way dialogue. I think you are able to then impart some of the knowledge onto people within the organizations, but also gain back in terms of understanding what works or what doesn't work within the tools that we learn here in the program.
The initiative that I'm leading right now, it's at its inception stage, and therefore I'm able to leverage many of the tools that we've learned through the course almost directly, and so it's been very beneficial for me. One of the key takeaways was the recognition that there was multiple forms of change management that many people never think of. And that was one of the aspects of that particular course, which interspersed real life case studies along with the theory and then the simulation layered on top. It was very beneficial because you were able to actually see some of the theory in practice in a way that perhaps in your day-to-day environment you may not have the opportunity to see. And that's why the simulation was so incredibly successful from my point of view.
So when the program started, I had just been placed on the talent management plan, and about 4 months after the program started, I got promoted to team leader. So from project manager to team leader. I find that in the position I'm in right now, I can focus more on the strategic aspect instead of just the project aspect. So everything we're learning in the program has been kind of helping me see things a little more strategically. And like I said earlier, it's helping my credibility just because of the knowledge and the tools and the wording we can use and the examples that we have and the fact that we've reviewed a whole bunch of case studies. So it's just kind of helping everything together. So now I'm also the team leader for the Future Fighter Infrastructure Program. And what we're trying to do is, because the program is bigger than everything else we've done project-wise, and it's also a programs of various projects. We're trying to do things a little differently by setting up a small project management office. Building something can be complicated, but the complexity, like for the Future Fighter, for example, the complexity comes with the fact that there's a whole lot of stuff coming in at the same time that you have to keep the plane flying while you're building. So how we're going to set everything up. We have to change a whole bunch of stuff on the base. How we're going to do it because the footprint is small. It's more that part, but it's not the actual construction. So when you're in charge of one project, it's very easy. It's when you're in charge of the program that makes it a little complicated.
I think the other one would be in collaborative contracting. I think most of the students, at least in our cohort, have come away with an appreciation of how powerful it can be. It doesn't mean it's easy, and there's of course a wide spectrum of what that could be. But personally, what I did is try to apply some of the concepts of collaborative contracting, even within the constraints of a firm fixed price subcontract, and sort of investing into the relationship with the subcontractor. And within the first 6 months of that subcontract, I've already seen it pay dividends. I think it's a mindset, it's a change in the way you approach. I'd recommend the program because, I mean, managing programs and projects is hard enough, and managing complex programs is that much harder. So I mean, we owe it to ourselves as practitioners to give ourselves every tool that we have out there, and why would you not want to delve into sort of the best practices in terms of recent innovations in collaborative contracting as an example, or better understanding sort of the hidden agendas and negotiation and dealing with the change that you may have to do to get things across the finish line. At the end of the day, I think what we want to be able to do is not just manage programs, but deliver capability. And I think this sort of education and training and reinforcement we get through this program allows you to do that. And as an added bonus, and not to minimize that too, is there's fantastic people you get to meet, both on the government and commercial side. And I think those are sort of relationships that don't ever go away, that you carry forward throughout your career. And I think that we're all probably underestimating how much that will come into play later on as well.